What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And a lot of you guys been buzzing ever since you saw Eddie House on Undisputed say what Skip Bayless keeps saying every time they do a show. that LeBron James quit in the 2011 NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks. He quit and talked about how he didn't step up. He choked when he was with the Miami Heat that first year. And people found he's like, and I'm not just saying that, I was a teammate with him, so he saw it firsthand. That was very devastating to hear coming from a former teammate of LeBron James. Now, here's the truth behind why this even took place. Eddie is known for saying exactly what he feels and being, genuine. But this one, I kind of feel like it was a little petty, but at the same time, I know why he did it. When Eddie House was first drafted, he was drafted by the Miami Heat. He played there for 3 years. Then he became a journeyman. They felt like at the time it just wasn't working out. And at the time, Eddie wasn't really a mature player and didn't really have the opportunity to really showcase what he could do. But he's a great teammate. Eddie's going to ride for you more than anything. So he bounced around the league ever since his first 3 years. He's never really played nowhere but 1 year until he got to Boston. And when he got with the Celtics, Doc appreciated the way he was as a teammate and the way he kept the team together, and they won the championship. Eddie was a great part of that, coming off the bench, hitting threes, and playing his role. Now, when he left there after 3 years, he went to the Knicks for a little bit. And when he went to the Knicks, like LeBron always do, a trade in the middle of the season. They do a trade to bring in Eddie House before the trade deadline. And here comes Eddie House into the Heat, and it was like a lightning bolt of energy he brought in there. Because he's tough. He don't take no mess. Not one of the biggest guys on the court, but he's the toughest. And Eddie is right there by your side. And LeBron loved Eddie. Like, they got along. A lot of people thought like they probably didn't. They got along. It's just that when the playoffs start and they start playing games in the offs, LeBron started to see Eddie didn't have a lot of productive games in the playoffs. He had some good games, but not so stellar. Till it became trust issues down the stretch. And for whatever the reason, when it got to the NBA Finals, they weren't playing Eddie. Eddie didn't play the first 4 games. And he was pissed. And mainly, he knew, like we all knew, that was LeBron's call. Game 5, they getting blowed out in Dallas. Eddie comes in, plays about 3 minutes, and they lose. So now they down 3-2. They go into game 6. Eddie get to play like 20-something minutes in that game. And they were basically blown out and was never in game 6 at all. So, did LeBron have a bad series? Absolutely. And a lot of people could say LeBron choked, but it was the strategy that was used against LeBron James, isolating him, forcing him to be the scorer to shoot from positions he wasn't used to shooting from or comfortable shooting from. Dallas did a great job of making sure they sent the right guys after him so he would have to swing and move the ball around, making it difficult for him to see or pass out of certain positions. So they took LeBron James and put him on the island with the basketball. And while he had the basketball, the shot clock's going down, so he's either going to turn the ball over or miss a shot. And he was very ineffective as he didn't want to shoot the ball anymore because he felt like he was very ineffective. And he goes into that mode of LeBron where we see where he becomes very passive. And he sits back and kind of let the game get out of hand. So with that being said, it all shifted. The whole tide shifted. And they lose the NBA Finals to the Dallas Mavericks. The Miami Heat brought Eddie House back because it was Eddie House's place he was drafted. He can end his career where it started in Miami. 11 years in. The Heat could have brought him back when they went back to the finals to bring Eddie back in. They didn't want to bring Eddie House back. And it was the smart thing to do because they had a much better replacement. A much better replacement. And people are going to be like, well, who is that? Shane Battier. And for you guys who don't understand, Shane Battier is the reason LeBron James has an NBA championship. That's right. That's right. Shane Battier. No, you guys might think I'm crazy. What Shane Battier brought to the table was veteran leadership. He could score, and you didn't need anybody else to do anything because those guys with Mario Chalmers, with Chris Bosh, you had Wade, LeBron. This was the type of series that you could thrive in. And Chris Bosh, they had him coming off the bench. He wasn't starting. They started Shane Battier. But as I told you, he sat after after the season started. When they started the last season they had, when they were going for the finals again, and they got Shane Battier on the team. Shane Battier sat down with LeBron James. And LeBron's like, you know, like what happened? Like why is this happening to me? And like I don't get it. Like how are they able to do this? And Shane was able to explain it to him and teach LeBron James how to recognize defenses. He didn't recognize them. He didn't recognize the schemes. He didn't understand in time. And a lot of you will think I'm hating, but this is the absolute truth. Because no one ever was there to teach it to him. Because he was not one that was open to be taught. That's why they kept coaches in there that just was gonna let him play his game. So when defenses changed, he couldn't recognize it. When he went up against intelligent teams like Popovich, the Spurs, Dallas Mavericks, and what they used against LeBron, they basically used the same formula the San Antonio Spurs did. Is isolate him with the ball and force him in spots where he's going to be very ineffective. And he didn't recognize where the traps were coming from, how to, like he can, for some reason, he's a guy that figures everything out on the go. But when someone's very crafty with how they're playing against you and they take your strength away from you, they cut off your penetration to the drive, penetration to the rim, and they put you on an island and make you a jump shooter, and your jump shot's not that developed, well, you're going to be exposed. So credit Shane Battier for a lot of that. So I just wanted to make sure you guys had all the information about the Eddie House situation. And that's the reason why he's hating on LeBron today. It's because he's still bitter that they won the NBA championship the very next year. And he felt like, man, on my last go, we could have won it that year. But you choked on us. And they could have brought Eddie back for the next year. While they was in the playoffs, they could have just picked him up. They didn't do it. So he didn't get a chance to win a championship with the team that drafted him, the Miami Heat. And he basically said LeBron is the reason why it happened. Because basically LeBron sat him down for the first 4 games. He didn't play in the finals. So that's what it is. It's your boy Carcino. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to let YouTube know if you're not getting your notifications, because a lot of people keep telling me they're not getting it. And I'm sorry about that. It's not my fault. It's theirs.